we're going to get to the numbers we require, but it's just taking a bit longer than we expected. So having support from people like Gareth Southgate is a big help. One test you do is where you see a series of pictures, and there's a name, there's a face, and there's a job. And then, 20 minutes later, you might be asked to have, you might be shown the face, and you have to remember what the name and the job were. So they're fairly simple things like that. And they're not looking for major problems. What we're looking for is minor differences in cognitive function. I know myself, as I get older, I don't remember things quite so well, and I slow down a bit. That's quite normal with age, but we're trying to see if there's a difference at a given age, if there's a difference between people who have had a lot of concussions, for example, and people who have had very few. The heading data is quite innovative. Essentially what we're doing is, it's not just that we ask someone how many times did you hit the ball. We might ask that, but we ask a lot of other information about their playing career, what leagues they were in, what position they played, what happened in training and so on. And then we put the data of everyone together. So it's not like someone says, I headed the ball so many times and that's the value we use. We would use the value for everyone else who has the same sort of characteristics and same sort of playing career. And we believe that we can get reasonable estimates, at least to the extent of being able to group people into, high, medium and low in terms of how much they headed the ball. No, definitely not. We want a random sample. If you just have volunteers, then you get a very biased sample. So we want to try and essentially get a random sample of former players. And so what we've said is we're studying people 50 years and over who have been members of the PFA. The one exception to that is that there are some people who have been members of the PFA that we don't have an address for or an email or any way to contact them. And so if there are people who are former players aged over 50 who were members of the PFA, they could contact us, and then we would just check that they're in the database. And if they are if they happen to be in the database and we just didn't have an address for them, then we can include them.